This isn't Citi Field. It's Philadelphia. That's right. Philadelphia. Ruben Amaro Jr., Michael Barkham, we welcome you. The Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance, where the Philadelphia Phillies at Citizens Bank Park only have the best record in Major League Baseball. To wit, the standings, where you will see the Phillies extend their lead over the New York Mets from 7 to 8 games with 18 games remaining. And the magic number, Rubino, 11. 11. I like it. So many great things. It's funny. Baseball is a beautiful game. And when you think about a 1-0 score and how exciting it was, how rewarding it was just to beat the Mets, might as well have been a 15-0 score. Great win tonight for the Phillies.
Yeah, really, it's a character win because they had 3 guys out of the lineup that they typically would have in the lineup. I mean, obviously, Turner's out. Bohm is now out. And you had Marsh out because he had flu-like symptoms. So you have 3 guys out of your lineup. They didn't score a ton of runs. And this is a big, big game for the Phillies for a number of reasons. One being Aaron Nola. Who is going to be that third starter in the playoffs? He's taken a nice step forward. I know that they'd love to have 4 guys, no doubt, but they'd love to have a right-hander in between those 3 lefties. And this was a really big win for him on a personal level, bouncing back and really bouncing back against a team that has had a lot of success against him. And again, another character win for the Phillies. They have such a resilience to be able to come back after, they lost kind of a tough game to try to close out the Miami Marlins for that sweep. But in this game, they bounced back against a tough Mets team, especially against the Phillies, and they come up with a W. And I got to say a lot about what this team's about.
In fact, Aaron Nola turned back the calendar. I know he's only 32 years old. He's not 40 years old, but still, he harkened back to the years when he was right there for the Cy Young Award. Here is our Eye on the Mound, presented by PGW. Hats off to Aaron Nola, energy for all of us, and he had the energy right from the start. And Ruben, you spoke about this in the pregame program, the fact that he might have given up runs earlier in his starts of late, but then he would settle down. He was settled from the beginning.
Yeah, and the thing about it was, the big difference for me was his ability to throw his fastball where he wanted to. Whether it was a four-seamer or a sinker, again, he threw an absolute ton of them. Typically doesn't throw this many of them, and Ben said it. He threw 54% fastballs. He throws a ton of breaking balls. Typically, that's the pitch, that curveball is the pitch that he throws a lot of. He didn't get a ton of swings and misses generally all day long, but he put his fastball where he wanted to. He got away with a couple of mistakes, but that's because he made so many good pitches in most of the part of the game. The changeup was working well for him. That was a big pitch. And really, you have to be super encouraged by what you see. Sometimes you have to make adjustments when you don't have the same stuff. Today, he was pretty crisp with his fastball, but he wasn't throwing 94, 95. He was still in the 92 range. But he made his pitches when he had to, and hopefully he can continue to carry this through the end of September and into October.
Because he pitched with great command and great strategy in his pitch selection. We were talking about that as we watched the game. We also heard what the guys had to say in the booth, and the two-seamer and the changeup were evident this evening. And here's a guy who, when you go back to May 3rd, that's the last time he pitched a shutout game, May 3rd for Aaron Nola. Certainly he was injured, but then since May 3rd, his ERA, Ruben, approached 10. I mean, that's saying something.
It's been a tough.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's been a tough year for him. There's no question about it. I know it's a challenge, but I know he's got a ton of pride, and I know he's one of those types of players that he wants to perform, and he's always been very humble. He's had a great career, and when you're struggling like this, you're trying to find the answers. He's done a nice job of starting to advance to the right space, and hopefully he can carry it out because. This is a guy that, you sort of pull for. I personally pull for him because I know what type of person he is, and I know how badly he wants to have success. And glad that he pitched this well, and hopefully he can continue to do that and build on what he did today.
You know who else we pull for? The tarantula, the long-legged Spidey, who comes out of the bullpen to a darkened house, cell phones ablaze, the tarantula crawling across the scoreboard. and he comes out, and I got to tell you, I mean, the Mets have had his way with him. And we were a little worried, Ruben, but he finally settled it down and locked the door. Alonso, leadoff single right there.
I think that's the 5th straight hit they had off of him since they played him in New York. But, you know, their approach on him is that he is going to throw strikes. And when he throws strikes, we're swinging at it.
And Ronnie Mauricio pinch running. Go ahead. Here's Brandon Nimmo.
Yeah, and then he has Nimmo on the fly out by the little breaking ball. And look how casual there Kepler is out in left field.
I love that.
He's an outstanding corner outfielder, whether it's in right or in left, made it look easy.
And then this guy, Mark Vientos, this guy is a thorn in the Phillies' side, and he does it again right here to the wall, and then it goes dead right at the wall on the warning track. Mauricio holds third, thank goodness, or we might still be playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice job of Castellanos hitting the cutoff man. Vientos is, you're right, and he's been tough, but this is an amazing at-bat here.
Yeah, Jeff McNeil.
I mean,
couldn't have to do a better guy.
Yeah,
Sit down.
He got out early to the 0-2, and then he's trying to spin a couple breaking balls, and then this is a kid, Alvarez, who is going to be super aggressive. Great job by JT and the Durantula of going to the breaking ball on this guy. Knuckle curve after knuckle curve. You knew he was going to be aggressive at the plate. Nice job by both those guys, and executing and finishing things off was great.
28th save for Joan Duran, and it looked beautiful tonight against the Mets. The Phillies now 3-7 against the Mets in the season series, but they are 3-1 against them at Citizens Bank Park, and that's what happens when you have the best home record in baseball. To the clubhouse we go. Here's Rob Thomson on this win.
Because you had the middle of the order for the Mets, and you gave Nola that inning. What made you want to get in the 6th, and how impressed were you?
Well, he just threw so well tonight. I mean, he kept the ball down. He was attacking the zone a lot more. A lot of changeups, a lot more changeups than he's been throwing past. The curveball was sharp. I thought he was really good. And we had Banks ready to go. If there was any type of trouble, he would have shut it down.
The way his season's gone, for him to have that start tonight against the Mets on a day where you lose a couple of guys, how big was that for him?
Yeah, it was huge. He came out with a lot of confidence. It was a great start, really was. Gave us 6 innings. We were a little short tonight. We didn't have Alvarado. We didn't have Kirkring. So he gave us a great start.
I know you never lost confidence in him, but how nice and big is it to see him do this before we get into these last couple starts in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's huge, you know. And I always say he's an experienced guy. He knows what he's doing. He prepares. He goes out and competes. He adjusts. He tweaks things. You know, he just gets it done.
Was there anything specific Duran did there once the 2 runners got on to kind of bear down and get out of that?
I think he used his curveball a little bit. You know, I think most teams are going to sit hard all the time, and so he used his curveball and got him off balance.
What's your pulse when you're watching that in the 9th inning with runners on 2nd and 3rd?
It doesn't change at all. No, you know. We pulled the infield in even though we were at home because we were a little short in the bullpen, and to me they had a full bullpen. Everybody was available, so we wanted to get the win right there.
And in the 2nd inning, I think it was the 2nd inning, you guys had 4 hits against McLean, which matched your total from the other game. What do you think you guys did tonight that made you more successful against him?
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I thought we had better at bats against him. And we laid off. We stayed within the zone for the most part. He had really good stuff again tonight. But I thought our bats were better. Is that because we've seen him once? I don't know. But I thought we did a pretty good job on him.
But Aaron used the changeup a lot more. Was that something you guys planned on going in, or was it early you saw it working and stuff?
I think it was kind of part of the plan, but probably when JT saw it in the bullpen, he probably thought it was pretty good, and we go with it. So,
back to Duran, you mentioned going to the curveball a little bit more. He got away from the splitter. Was it something just against matching up with this team, or you see something different there you guys facing?
Well, I think you have to keep people off balance, and the splitter's 98, the fastball's 102. You got to change speeds a little bit just to, you know, make them think a little bit, so they can't sit hard all the time.
What was the thought of pitching to McNeil instead of walking him to put the double play in place?
Pitching to in the ninth. I just like the matchup. That's all.
Amy Barrett, thank you very much. That's immediately following Phillies Postgame Live. And Amy, I'm with you. The Chiefs can stay mad. It's going to be a good thing. Another beatdown by the Eagles comes Sunday. Ruben Amaro Jr., I'm Michael Barkan. And let's continue as we go next level. And, of course, that's Aaron Nola in the first inning, presented by Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City. You know, he's given up 8 runs in his last 2 first innings, Ruben, and this was the opposite of that. He was great right here as Lindor sit down to start the game.
Yeah, nasty breaking ball right out of the chute, and a good sequence there, threw fastballs for strikes and set that up. This is obviously a walk against a tough hitter in Juan Soto, but he held him around first base long enough to be able to throw an excellent changeup to Pete Alonso to get him.
And then Nimmo right here. Nimmo.
Then he gets Brandon Nimmo on another changeup. Ball was well stroked, but not enough juice. And nice to see him get out of that first inning throwing strikes. Got to make him feel a little confident with himself. And then he kind of built from there.
Yeah.
Nice job.
All right. I don't know. I'd like you to tell me how he did this, because we have seen an entire season, indeed last season with the home runs, etc. He has not been the guy that you brought up way back, you know, when. What has changed in just one start?
I think more than anything else, he showed signs, and we talked about it a little bit in the pregame, that he showed signs of being able to get his stuff together. For whatever reason, coming out of the bullpen to the first inning, he hadn't been real sharp with his fastball. The fastball command is key. The best pitch in baseball is a well-placed fastball, whether it's a four-seamer or a sinker. And for him, it's even bigger because he has to be a little bit more fine. He doesn't have the same velocity on his pitches as he once had when he first got to the big leagues. But he can pitch like this because he has a repertoire with his curveball and his changeup now that can keep hitters off balance and to make sure that they get off the barrel. So I think that's just the adjustment of him being able to trust his fastball to throw it for strikes and get outs with it, or soft contact, or at least set up for his breaking ball and his changeup, and that's what he did here tonight.
Back to the clubhouse. Here's Aaron Nola on his performance tonight.
It's that team with everything in the line. How much did you want to start like this one?
I mean, yeah, I feel like it's been a while, for sure. It's a good win. Good all-around team win. Those guys are good over there. Obviously, they played us really well the past several series, and it's good to get the first one of the series over here.
What was key for you tonight in terms of kind of keeping them off balance?
Just commanding the fastball, commanding the changeup, too. They left a couple curveballs over the plate that they hit for a couple base hits, but other than that, just kind of winning the counts. I know I had 2 walks, but I feel like other than that, kind of controlled the zone better than I had last game.
Was it hard not to put too much into this kind of outing, or just wanted to try and be as normal as possible?
Be as normal as possible. I just needed to win the count, stay ahead, attack the zone. I face these guys a lot, so the main key was just to command the baseball and get the leadoff hitter out.
How much did it mean to you to be able to do what you did in the 6th against Soto, Alonso, and Nimmo, and be able, in terms of just confidence building and a springboard for what you can do going forward?
Yeah, I mean, they're good hitters. And I face them a lot, and just to get those guys out, and especially to get Soto, to get the leadoff foul was big.
It's rare for you to crack a smile like that just out of nowhere.
It just wasn't out of nowhere.
Where do you think it was at?
What's that?
No.
You're not somebody that usually ends up throwing over to first a ton, but it seemed like the pickoff move and stuff became part of your game tonight. Why do you think?
Yeah, it was a big one. I saw him kind of take that, a little bit extra jump out there. He was kind of jumping. I saw him in my rear view, so decided to pick and hard put a good tag on him.
Does, given the team that this is against, given the way today starts with the guys going on the IL, does this feel a little bit extra special in any ways?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big to get game 1 of the series. We got 4 games against these guys, and We know it's going to be a battle every game. They're a good team, and they played us well, and we just got to do the little things right and keep on doing that through the whole series. So enjoy this one tonight, flush it, and get ready for tomorrow.
On getting through the 6th inning, with the way the season's gone for you, what did it mean for you to walk off the field to that ovation?
That was good. I mean, like y'all know, up and down year, and hadn't had a game like this in quite some time. But I'm glad I was able to put the team in a good position to win and throw some zeros up there. And the bullpen came in and did their job. And Darren had some big pitches out there in the ninth, and being able to scratch that one run against these guys and hold them, it's big.
You talked about the changeup earlier, and then of course the curveball was working for you. How much of that was game plan going in against this team, and how much of it was figuring it out as the game went on, like, oh geez, those pitches are working for me?
Just both. I mean, I had to command it, no doubt. All my pitches I had to command. It wasn't just about going and showing the changeup. Anybody can hit the changeup right over the plate, so I had to command that pitch tonight, and for the most part I did.
Why pull out the cutter against Soto there?
Something he hadn't seen before. I've toyed with that pitch a little bit over past few weeks, so it felt good out of my hand right there.
Aside from that one cutter, you had good balance between the number of pitches that you threw, just in terms of distributing them evenly. Aside from that one cutter, was that part of your game plan tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a couple of those innings, pitch count kind of creeped up because I put some good at bats against me. Lindor in the first, and Soto right after that in the first. I put some decently long ABs and fouled some pitches off Jeff right there, and then in the Nimmo too. But I mean, that's the kind of guys they are. They don't go down too easy, and I just needed to keep making pitches.